Hello everyone, in this video I have a mixed media art journal process to share with you with the Thompson's Craft Supplies design team. I'm still of course using October's Pretty Spooky kit, and this is a very Halloweeny skull themed art journal spread. So as per usual, I have already put a layer of heavy gesso on my pages and put masking tape up the middle because that helps prevents any like seepage through to other pages, and let that dry and everything. And I'm just going over the whole thing with some black acrylic paint. Now the acrylic paint I'm using is just the Hobbycraft own brand stuff. For white and black I find this paint is just fab. Like I don't think you need to shell out for a really expensive one for this kind of thing. Really, I mean, I don't work with acrylics a lot, so if you are someone who does a lot of acrylic work, obviously you want like really good quality ones. But for just stuff like this, the Hobbycraft one is great, and also dries really quickly, which is always a bonus for me. Just checking it was dry there, and then it felt really nice, so I stroked it a little bit. Yes, I'm weird. I'm a very tactile person, so I'm going to go in with this stencil. Slow down, Grace. Skull stencil. This is a Dilution stencil, and I'm using Nouveau Glimmer Paste in the colour Moonstone. Now this is interesting because it's one of those, it's like a white iridescent hollow kind of paste. But in this spread, it kind of gets this sort of ethereal green colour. I mean, I don't know if that's reflecting something in my craft room or something. I don't know, but that works pretty darn well for this particular art journal spread. So I was kind of pleased with that. And yeah, on other things, it will just look like a clear, glittery white. So that was interesting. You never kind of know how these things are going to turn out sometimes, but this time it worked out, you know, okay. And then I was about to put on some rub-ons from the kit, and then I realised, oh yeah, you won't be able to see those over the black. I am dumb. So I'm just going in again with the white acrylic paint, again, the Hobbycraft own, and just doing little sections of white. And I've just used that one little bit of paint that I've splashed down and just making that work all over, like dry brushing it over those skulls that I stenciled, highlight some of the areas of the skulls and stuff. So yeah, there's thicker white areas and then dry brush sort of lighter white areas kind of thing. And here I am using the rub-ons from the kit. Now, going over the acrylic paint rather than using them on paper, I did have to work quite hard with the little sticky thing that comes with the rub-ons to get them to go down. But yeah, they did fine. It just, you know, took a little bit of more elbow grease than it usually would. And here I am. I wanted to add a few more little bits and pieces of this. I always cut my little rub-on pieces, you know, little sections of them. I have seen people use like whole bits at once, and I'm just like, oh, that's not for me. So I always cut little bits like that. This one got stuck. You can see me having some trouble peeling it off there. It's because I hadn't actually completely dried that little area of white acrylic, and I didn't know. So when I rubbed it on, actually the paint started to sploosh and the black from underneath came through. It's kind of cool actually, but yeah, took me a minute to get that off. So do check that your paint is dry, unlike me. These little things I'm sticking down here. So the spooky and scary, some of you, if you saw my first project with this kit, these little vellum things were made by accident. I was painting some alpha stickers black because I didn't have black ones in the font I wanted, and I put them on some vellum, painted them black, and then when I removed them to use them on my layout, I was left with these, and I thought those were super cool, so I'd use them in an art journal spread as well. The thing I'm cutting up now is a napkin. I bought a big pack of these from Asda. I just thought they were great with the skull and just perfect, so I thought I would use those in an art journal spread. And then I've also got that thing that says semi-annual skull check, do you still have yours? And it was some weird thing that I just saw on Facebook, like someone shared it, and I just thought it was suitably creepy and weird to use in a Halloween art journal spread, so I just printed that off from the internet, as it were. I did want to add a little bit of colour, so I'm taking the bat stencil from the kit and going in with embellishment mousse, Nouveau embellishment mousse in, I've forgotten the colour, but I'm basically using purple and black. The correct colour names will be in the description box. And then again, I'm taking that skull stencil and using the black glitter paste from the kit just to add a couple more skulls on those little white areas like so. So once that's all dry and everything, I'm going to take this little thing that I've printed off and distress it a lot around the edges because I didn't want it to look all like neat and stuff. And then I'm going over the top with some distress oxided old paper just to give it that old look kind of thing. Now I have said this before, but I will say it again. Now I have an inkjet printer, and if you are doing something with oxides or whatever over something printed on an inkjet printer, do not swipe the blending tool, as it were. You just dab it, because when you swipe it, you're just going to smudge the ink. No matter how long that thing has been printed for, even if it's been printed for like a week, it's still going to smudge, because that is the nature of inkjet. So yeah, I just sort of dabbed the ink on like so, and I have put my skull down, that big skull from the napkin, just with some good old-fashioned PVA glue. I thought I'd use that, because just kind of to show everyone that you don't always have to have the most expensive stuff. Like that bottle of PVA glue, I bought it for 99p ages ago. It has lasted me forever, and it's just really good for doing stuff like this. And I think it's the worst kept secret in the world that basic Mod Podge is pretty much just PVA glue mixed with a certain ratio of water. So yeah, just using PVA basically. I put that Happy Halloween up the side there. I am aware that I have, in putting these bits of napkin down, covered up some of those really nice rub-ons that I've put down, but that's just kind of the nature of what it is when you do art journaling and stuff. And actually, because I only put one layer of the napkin down, you can actually kind of see through the skull and see some of the bats and a little bit of that rub-on through it. I don't know if it's showing up on video, but in real life you can, which is both kind of cool and kind of creepy at the same time if you think about it too much. So my spooky and scary little vellum pieces there, I am putting down with the Prima Gloss gel, just because after banging on about PVA glue, vellum, as we all know, can be a bit of a pain in the butt to stick down on things sometimes. So I'm just using something which I know is reliable and is going to definitely stick, as it were. Here I'm going to use a Posca paint pen and just add a little stitched border effect around the whole thing. I wasn't really happy with it at this point, but doing that little border just made all the difference for me. I'm also going to use it just to highlight a couple of little bats and stuff I've put down. All the little bits I'm going to add at the moment are from the Kaisercraft sticker sheet, which is from the kit. I just thought there needed to be something else. I wasn't completely happy where I'd ripped up bits of napkin and put those down in random places. I wasn't, completely happy with it. So I'm just going to add a couple little twigs and crows or ravens, whatever they are. Spooky blackbirds, we'll call them that. And yeah, just adding a few little bits of those here and there, just to, make this whole sort of spooky, dark effect kind of thing. And the skulls, as I've said many times before, I love my skulls, so I just had to do another skull themed project with this kit. And I think, I just wanted to rough up the edges of that Happy Halloween thing there. It was a bit too neat. I wanted it to be a bit more, I don't know, creepy looking. Is that the right word? I do not know. And I'm just thickening up my Posca paint pen there, because it had faded just a little bit. And I believe that is it. So quite a quick one this week. I am hoping to have an extra bonus Halloween art journal thing up on Wednesday, but I do have a very, very busy weekend coming up, so fingers crossed I will have that up for you, but we will see. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Links, as always, in the description box below. Please leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Chat to me in the comments and all those wonderful things. Thank you so much. I am now going. Bye.